Hi everyone. So this is not your regular JavaScript framework comparison video. This is different because I would be talking about the bundle size of each of the JavaScript framework, or at least the three common JavaScript framework, which is Angular, React, and Vue. I'm actually excited about making this video because this is one video whereby I really don't know what to expect because I've not really tried this before. Actually, I have tried this before, but that was about a year ago. So I really want to try this now because things have changed within the JavaScript framework. We have Angular 14 now, we also have React 18, and we also have Vue 3. So there's been a whole lot of change in the last 365 days within the JavaScript framework. So I just want to say what's the bundle sizes of each of this framework currently look like. And I don't know which is going to have the least bundle size. I don't know if it's going to be React. I don't know if it's going to be Angular. I don't know if it's going to be Vue, but I guess we'll just see this together. I intend doing this just for the sake of doing it. But I just decided that, instead of me to do this alone, why not just me filming this while doing it? So here I am. So let's see. But before we go, starting up a new project and saying that, okay, let's check the bundle sizes, I'd like to talk a bit about bundle sizes and why it's important. So bundle sizes is actually important. It's very, very important because it can boost the performance of your web page, most especially when your web page just got loaded, like at the initial loading time of your web page. So let's take, for example, if you have a web page of, I'm going to use 1 megabyte. I don't think that's actually large, but let's just take, for example, you have a web page of 1 megabyte. The time it's going to take for 1 megabyte website to load would definitely be more than the time it's going to take a 100 kilobyte website to load. It's just basic mathematics. So that's why the bundle size is actually very important. And you know that these days we don't really have people being so patient. So no one would actually wait for your 1 megabyte website to load for about 30 minutes. Definitely that's not going to happen though. But no one would actually wait so long when there is another competitor. People would just switch to the other competitor that their site actually loads fast. So this would happen when you have, in the case whereby you have competitor, but in the case whereby the user doesn't actually have a choice than to use your software, there's some software like that you don't really have a choice, you just need to use it. So that may not really be much of a problem, but notwithstanding, you still need to give the user the optimum speed that you can. So that's just it anyways, and that's why bundle size is actually important. So aside from the initial loading time, there are also more to bundle sizes, and I'm not really going to be talking about things like lazy loading the module, and things like that. That's not the point of this video. I just want to get straight to business to see which is going to have the smallest bundle size between Angular, React, and Vue. And I also wanted to know that before this video, the only thing that I did was to update my version of my Angular CLI and also the version of my Vue CLI, which is actually updated before, but I just updated it again anyway, so to be sure it's really, really up to date as at today. So I actually did this update, and right now, let's run this. So to do this, I have 3 websites open here, which is Angular, React, and also the Vue website as well. So I'm not just going to make a blank application. And after making that blank application, I'm just going to build the application and check the bundle size for each of them. So let's get started, and I'm going to be using the official documentation, what's stated in the official documentation to build this. So we already know that to build an Angular website, we just need to run the command ng new Angular tool, blah, blah, blah. So basically ng new and the name of your application comes next. So I'm just going to copy what we have over here, and I'll paste it on. I'm going to paste it over here. So I'll move over to the Angular side of things here. We have React and we have Vue. So let me paste this and let me run this now. So the normal Angular flow is going to ask me if I want to use Angular routing. I'm going to say yes. So I'm just going to use CSS for all of them. and this would install till it's done. So let's move over to the next one. The next one we have here is React, and create a new React app. I'll be doing this with the command npx create React app. So I will copy this now. I'll come over here to the React tab and I'll paste this and just enter this over here. So let's wait for this. So this is going to install the necessary things for React Doom, and every other thing. So while that is installing, let's just go ahead and install that of the Vue. So for Vue, we have Vue create and the name of the application over there. So let's come over here and let's see if Angular is done. Angular is actually still installing. React is still installing, and for Vue, let's answer the questions. So I'm going to be making use of Vue 3, and I'm just going to use the default for everything. So I would click on enter for that, and it's going to install the necessary things that needs to be installed. So I'm just going to cut this video here, and I would see you when this is done. Okay, here we are back and the installation is completed. So here we have Angular, here we have React, and here we have Vue as well. So let's see. So what I'm going to do is, let me take a look. This is Angular. So I'm going to cd. I'm going to cd into Angular, and I'm going to run npm run build. I'm just going to, I can actually do the ng build for this, but I just want to run it with the npm run build, which is actually still going to trigger the ng build like you can actually see here. And because this is the first time I'm doing this, I'm just going to give consent to this question here. And this is actually going to build my app. And while that's going on, I'm going to take a look at the name of my React project, which is my app. So I'm going to cd into my app, and I will do npm run build. So I'm going to build up this app now, and I would do something for the React project as well. So I'm going to say cd, what's the name of the React project again? Hello World. Okay, great. So I would say cd into Hello World, and I would do npm run build. So let's build this application and see what they have. So React is already done, Angular is done, and Vue is actually still building up. So why Vue? Okay, I think Vue is done right about now. Great, so we've built this 3 different applications, and now it's time for us to check the bundle size. So let's start with the first one, Angular, and for Angular, we'll move into the dist folder, and we have this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click here, and I will say properties. So this is actually going to show me the size of this exact application. So coming over here, I can see all the files here, and you can see that this is the name of the folder over here, and we have the size over here. So I'll go back now, and I would go to the React application. I really don't know which is React, so I have to re-verify that. So let's see, this is React. React is actually my app. Okay, I think I should have just named that React actually. So I will go to my app, which is for React. So this is React, and I would go to the build. So this is what we have here for the build, and I'm just going to check the properties of this particular file here, and let's check that of Vue now. So I'll go back and I'll check that of Vue, which is the hello world. I'll move over to the dist, then I'm going to check the property of this. So I would like to put these things side by side. So I have this Angular, and this one here for React, and this one here for Vue. So let's see them side by side, and let's do this live comparison. So here we go. We have this for Angular, this is for Vue, and this is for React over here. So I can see that our size here is actually 242 kilobytes for a plain Angular app. Like you can see, I did not open the application. I I really did not write any single code in there. So we have 242 kilobytes, while for React, I have 544 kilobytes, and for Vue, we have 765 kilobytes. It's actually the same result with the last time I tried this, which was actually last year or last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. And I won't say I'm that surprised, but I was actually expecting some of the other framework to have tried to do one or two things to make their bundle size smaller than even that of Angular. But for the very first time I tried this, which was last year, I was really, really surprised because I was expecting React to be lesser than Angular, but seeing Angular being lesser than React in terms of the bundle size, it's just very, very surprising, in all honesty. It's just very, very surprising. But let's see what exactly we have within these files. So this is Angular. This is over here we have Vue, and over here we have sorry, I think I've mixed that up. Over here we have Vue, and over here we have React. We can actually see the icons of each of them. So here we go. So let's see. For the Angular actually has no image in it. But if we should take a look at React, we have some images in it already. So I wouldn't really say that since Angular has no image in it, it's enough reason for it to have a smaller bundle size, but image is not really a factor for me to determine the bundle size of a framework. It could be a factor to determine the bundle size of your own application, but we can't really judge a framework by the image that is in the framework. So I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So that's just it. So when we come over here to the static, we can see we have some code, CSS, JS, and media. So this media over here is, we can see it's just an HTML document. So when we go back, those actually count. But for the images over here, let's see, we have this image of about 5 kilobytes. We have this other image of about 9 kilobytes. Let's say that both of them are approximately 15 kilobytes. And those are just the two images that we have there. So if we're going to take away 15 kilobytes from 544 kilobytes, it's still really higher than Angular. It's still really, really, really higher than Angular. So let's take a look at Vue.js and see what we have there. So for Vue.js, we actually don't have any image. So let me be sure about that. So we don't have any image for Vue.js. So when Vue.js says that it's 765 kilobytes, it meant it. It's not because Vue.js has some kind of big image in its dist folder or anything. No, it's just the code base that is actually 765 kilobytes. Why for that of Angular? Angular has no image and no match file even. So this is actually probably the reason why Angular is actually smaller. So I actually don't know that Angular have been working a whole lot on the bundle size for several years now, but I'm just still a bit surprised to see how far they have come. Like, they've really come a long way in trying to perfect this, and I'm going to say thumbs up to them. So if there's anything I would like to see in the next version of any of this framework, is basically a smaller bundle size, because this is just a basic project. When we have a big project, we can just imagine what it's going to be. So the ability of a particular framework to be able to compile a project that is meant to be big into something that would really, really, really be small is actually a big win for that particular framework, because it is going to boost the performance of the application in general. So that's it about comparing React, Angular, and Vue with respect to their bundle sizes. And this is actually very, very interesting just to see what exactly the bundle size of this application is. So it could be that in a larger application, they might perform differently. I wish to compare these different applications. when they're being used to build exactly the same thing, that's let's say a little bit of a large application built with Angular, or a little bit of a large application built with React and Vue, with exactly the same image, with exactly the same functionality, and just kind of compare how what the bundle size is really going to be, what framework has a better ability in code compression, or in trying to minimize what the bundle size of the application is going to be. So I would really like to see this. I would really like to see this. I don't know if I'm ever going to do this, or if I'm ever going to do this experiment, but it's just something I'm going to like to see. And if peradventure you're watching this and you know any GitHub repository where this experiment have been done, you can just reference that in the comments below. You can just point that to me, because I would really like to see this. So that's all for now, and if you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and see you all in the next video. Bye for now.